You've been chasing love like it. A surprise you can win. Like there. Some secret formula, some hidden key. Some unspoken trick that will finally make someone stay. Finally make someone care. Finally fill that emptiness you feel when the lights go out and you are alone with your thoughts. You tell yourself stories about love, about timing, about destiny. You say, I just haven't met the right person yet, or they just don't understand me. You tell yourself these lies with such conviction, like repeating them enough will make them true. But the harsh reality is that love is out there waiting for you to find it. Love does fix the cracks you've been hiding from. Love does appear while you distract yourself scrolling through social media, binging shows, numbing your mind with noise, pretending that everything is fine when deep down it is. Look at your life closely, not casually, not from a safe distance, but really look. Every failed relationship, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every lingering resentment, every sense of dissatisfaction, it is all a mirror, reflecting back to you exactly what you have been avoiding, exactly what you've been refusing to see, exactly who you are at this moment. And here is the truth that nobody wants to tell you. It's not their fault. It's yours. The person you keep falling for, the person you keep hoping will change, the person you keep tolerating because you are scared of being alone. They're just reflections of the cracks you refuse to confront inside yourself. Every pattern you repeat, every mistake you make, every time you bend over backward and pretend everything is okay, every time you stay quiet when your gut screams at you to leave, all of it is screaming one thing. You haven't mastered yourself. You haven't faced the reality of your own emotional state. You haven't done the hard, brutal work that emotional maturity demands. You think love will heal you. You think if you just find the right person, your life will feel complete. But love doesn't heal. Love exposes. Love shows you what is really inside, what is really broken, what you've been running from. It throws a spotlight on every insecurity, every fear, every wound you have stuffed in a corner and pretend it doesn't exist. You've been hoping someone will magically fix those wounds for you, hoping that love will cover over the cracks, hoping that connection will fill the emptiness. But that is a fantasy. The truth is far uglier until you face your own fears, until you face your own weaknesses. Until you take responsibility for your patterns, love will keep hurting you. It will keep showing up in ways that frustrate you, scare you, and break you because it is reflecting your unhealed self. You avoid your emotions like they are poison. You tell yourself that ignoring discomfort is strength. You tell yourself that numbing pain, hiding fear, and running from vulnerability makes you smart, makes you safe, makes you untouchable. But it does Avoidance is not strength. Avoidance is fear dressed up as rationality. Avoidance keeps you predictable, keeps you stuck, keeps you easy to manipulate. Emotional maturity does mean you feel good all the time. It does mean you never hurt, never struggle, never experience fear or sadness. Emotional maturity means you face all of it. You let yourself feel it fully. You observe it without judgment. You process it instead of pretending it does exist. Every feeling you ignore, every thought you dismiss, every reaction you justify, every excuse you cling to. All of it is another brick in the cage that keeps secure love out of your life. You've been blaming your past, your parents, your childhood, the mistakes you made, the people who hurt you, as though your upbringing or your experiences excuse the chaos you tolerate today. But understanding the past is not permission to stay stuck. It is not permission to act out the same patterns over and over again. Understanding is insight. Acting without insight is destruction. You want love to feel safe. You want relationships that don't drain you, that don't leave you feeling small, that don't make you question your worth. Then you have to take ownership of your part in every relationship you've had. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I contributed to this. Yes, I chose this. Yes, I tolerated what I shouldn't have. Yes, I am responsible for the patterns that repeat. Until you do that, love will continue to feel chaotic, unstable, fleeting, painful, because the world reflects back what you have cultivated inside. You attract what you tolerate. That is the brutal truth. If your boundaries are weak, you attract people who will push them. If your insecurities run your life, you attract people who will exploit them. If you can't face discomfort, you attract chaos because chaos is familiar. You think it's coincidence that the people you fall for repeat similar patterns, similar flaws, similar mistakes. It's not. It's the universe holding up a mirror, showing you the parts of yourself you refuse to see, And the mirror, does he lie? It does he negotiate? It does he care about your excuses? Every failed relationship, every betrayal, every heartbreak, every disappointment is a teacher disguised as pain, screaming at you to wake up and do the work. Look closely at the lies you tell yourself. You say, I want love. But what you really mean is, I want someone to numb my pain for me. You say, I deserve happiness. But every choice you make tells a different story. You tolerate disrespect. You ignore red flags. You stay when you should leave. You bend yourself into shapes that feel unnatural. All in the hope that someone else will finally make you feel safe, whole, complete. And here is the hard truth you've been avoiding. No one else is responsible for your wholeness. No one else can make you feel safe. No one else can fill the emptiness inside you. That is your work. That is your responsibility. That is the first step toward attracting love that does to hurt, that does to manipulate, that does to vanish when life gets hard. You've been pretending that love is a reward. That if you just endure enough pain, just wait long enough, just suffer long enough, someone will finally notice and finally stay. That is a lie. Love is not a reward. Love is a reflection. Love is a mirror. It is a reflection of the emotional maturity, the self-awareness, the courage, the honesty, and the boundaries that you bring to your life. Until you develop these qualities inside yourself, until you cultivate the ability to see yourself clearly, to own your patterns, to confront your fears, to face your pain, and to refuse to tolerate what is beneath your worth, love will continue to feel unsafe, temporary, unstable, and disappointing. You have been waiting for permission to feel, for permission to act, for permission to grow. Stop waiting. The world does not owe you permission. The universe does not negotiate with avoidance. Life will keep handing you mirrors, keep testing you, keep showing you the same patterns until you finally decide to step up. Secure love does not come to those who run from themselves. It does not reward the passive. It does not settle for excuses. It comes to those who face themselves, who confront their fears, who embrace their discomfort, who demand the truth of themselves no matter how painful it is, and who refuse to compromise their worth. Stop blaming your partner. Stop blaming your parents. Stop blaming fate. Every failed relationship you've had, every heartbreak, every betrayal, every moment of loneliness is screaming a lesson at you. And if you're honest, you know it. You know the parts of yourself you refuse to face. You know the boundaries you refuse to enforce. You know the conversations you refuse to have. You know the compromises you make that break you more than anyone else ever could. And you keep doing it anyway. Why? Because it's as comfortable. Because it's as familiar. Because growth is terrifying. But let me tell you something that you need to hear. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Familiarity is the enemy of love. If you want love that feels safe, love that feels secure, love that feels steady and real, you have to embrace the discomfort of becoming a person who can hold it. You have to do the hard, scary work. You have to look at yourself with brutal honesty and then act. Not later, not tomorrow, not when it is convenient. Now, you must become self-aware, ruthlessly self-aware. Every thought you have, every reaction you make, every trigger that sets you off, every pattern that repeats itself in your life, observe it. Name it. Own it. You cannot fix what you cannot see. And just seeing it is enough. You have to confront it. You have to practice responding differently, speaking differently, feeling differently. You have to train your emotional muscles like an athlete trains their body. Every time you panic, every time you retreat, every time you let fear dictate your actions, you are reinforcing the old patterns. Every time you pause, every time you feel fully, every time you act with awareness, you are building a new blueprint, one that will eventually attract the kind of love that does hurt, that does betray, that does vanish. Vulnerability is your secret weapon. Stop thinking it is weakness. It is courage. It is honesty. It is magnetic. Showing up fully even when it scares you, even when it makes you feel exposed, even when you think it might backfire, that is how secure love finds you. That is how connection deepens. That is how intimacy becomes possible. If you continue to hide, if you continue to protect yourself behind walls of excuses and avoidance, you will continue to attract the wrong people. Vulnerability is not optional if you want love that lasts. You must practice it. Daily. Relentlessly. Even when it hurts. Even when you feel unworthy. Especially then. Boundaries are not walls. They are declarations. They say, I respect myself. If you want me, you show up fully. If you can't, step aside. Boundaries are your power. Without them, you teach people how to treat you, and often they teach you what you do not deserve. Setting boundaries is uncomfortable at first. People will resist it. People will push back. That is normal. It is the test. And when you maintain them consistently with integrity, with compassion, with firmness, you signal to the universe that you are ready for a new level of love, a level that is steady, secure, and respectful. The small choices compound. One small act of honesty, one small moment of courage, one small refusal to tolerate what you shouldn't. They add up. They create a presence, a frequency, a type of energy that draws the right people and repels the wrong ones. You do not need a complete personality overhaul to attract love that lasts. You need micro changes, relentless self-awareness, and the refusal to accept mediocrity in yourself or anyone else. Every day, every interaction, every choice matters. The compound effect is unstoppable if you are consistent. Finally, understand this: no one is coming to save you. Love will not magically land in your life and fix your wounds. It will not appear while you procrastinate, avoid, or distract yourself. Secure luck comes to the disciplined, the brave, the self-aware, the courageous. It comes to the people who refuse to compromise their worth, who refuse to settle for chaos, who refuse to hide from their own shadows. Step up, face yourself, do the work. Practice vulnerability, enforce boundaries, own your patterns, embrace discomfort. And then watch as the universe delivers exactly what you are capable of holding. Anything less than this is just a rehearsal for heartbreak, disappointment, and repeated chaos. Your move. The clock is ticking. Your life is now. No excuses, no waiting. Step into your power, and the love you have been chasing will finally stop running.